This week on Retrospect Rewind. We start our rewind in 1994 with a manhunt underway as a shooting in Kitscoty leaves a man dead.
Big city crime comes to small town Alberta. The village of Kitscoty, west of Lloydminster, was rocked early this afternoon by word of a fatal shooting.
A vehicle with two gentlemen in were returning a horse trailer to this location. One of the gentlemen got out of the vehicle and walked over to the gate here to attempt to open the gate to allow them access, at which time he suffered a gunshot wound we suspect came from the location of the residence.
The man, identified as 41-year-old John Earl, died as a result of the wounds. Police say the second man seen here was able to escape the scene without injuries, and he rushed for assistance from police. Police then blocked off Highway 897 south of Kitscoty and began questioning area residents about whether or not anything suspicious had been seen.
You see anything odd coming up here at all? No? That's good. Good news.
As to why the shooting occurred, it's still a mystery.
We have no idea what the motive is. At this time, nothing. No idea whatsoever.
Late this afternoon, RCMP called in emergency response teams from Edmonton to search for the murder suspect, 45-year-old Robert Arthur Earl, also of Kitscoty. They went to the suspect's home and looked around both by air and on the ground. Police say shortly after 5, rescue crews found him dead.
They located the suspect in the back of the Buffalo compound, deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Police are treating this case as a murder-suicide.
And in 1998, a group in Bonnyville discusses the issue of gambling.
The town of Bonnyville, it has to be commended for what has taken place.
The town of Bonnyville hosted a seminar associated with gaming and gambling. Casino and hotelers, members from the Alberta government, as well as social workers were just some of the groups taking part in the forum. The goal of the seminar is simple.
I think what I hope to accomplish was provide my community with an opportunity to get a balanced view on the gambling and gaming issues that exist in the province of Alberta today, and specifically in our community.
And with that goal in mind, each group shared their views on the ups and downs of the controversial subject. And Ralph McNabb will tell you the downside can be severe.
Some of them are dead. Some of them have committed suicide because of their gambling behavior. Others have lost their wives and their marriages. Others have lost simply money. All the money they've got, they've stolen. Others are in jail, others are in hospitals.
However, there are positive spin-offs to gambling, that being the revenue. Dennis Germain, president of the Bonnyville and District Recreation Association, stresses that without the gaming revenues, valuable community programs may be lost.
To operate this program costs us in excess of $300,000 per year. Now, a while back, I asked the question, can sporting groups survive without gaming revenues? In the case of this group, the answer is an emphatic no.
The forum was an enlightening way for groups to exchange conflicting views on the gaming industry and a step in the right direction in looking for solutions.
Perhaps as the word gets out, people will begin to act a little more responsibly and realize that we as a society have to act responsibly too.
It is a step. However, Ralph McNabb has a message for those who need to make a first step of their own.
I want to talk to the compulsive gamblers out there. Seek help for your problem. It's there. Seek help through ADAC, through the Canadian Foundation on Compulsive Gambling, through Slim Thorpe, through your minister at church. Seek help.
We start this week's edition of Retrospect in 1994 as the Meadow Lake Tribal Council sign a health agreement with the Saskatchewan government.
It's being called a one-of-a-kind signing, an agreement between First Nations people and the Saskatchewan government. The province and the Meadow Lake Tribal Council have signed a memorandum of understanding, giving natives an active role in the provincial healthcare system.
It allows for a way for First Nations people, without prejudicing their objectives, to participate in health reform and achieve the goal of better health for their people.
The Native group will now be able to sit on the province's district health boards. They will also be able to access services previously only provided to off-reserve Natives. But all of this brings up the question of whether or not they're endangering their federal treaty rights, something the chief considered and dismissed.
We have to work together. And this whole idea of saying, well, let's pay this, you pay this, and I pay this, okay, let's take that stand, but let's talk about which areas we can pay together and help develop.
Chief Gladue says the agreement will benefit his people, and the minister says it will also be good for the whole province.
The provincial government and the peoples of Saskatchewan stand to benefit a great deal from the participation of First Nations people, because they can teach us about community participation and community development.
Today's signing was just the first step down a difficult path towards complete understanding. But both groups hope it'll set a precedent and allow other First Nations people to follow their lead towards these kinds of partnerships in the future.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. Country music fans of all ages in 1998 enjoyed a night of tunes at the Border Country Jamboree. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. Starting things off this week in 1994, Lloydminster residents rallied to open the outdoor pool for the summer season.
The pool has in fact been closed, and we're here tonight to try to convince City Council on reopening the pool.
About 40 concerned residents turned out at a public meeting last night to convince Lloydminster City Council to reopen the outdoor pool. The city closed the facility this year to save $30,000 in the Parks and Rec budget. But at last night's meeting, citizens were angry they were not informed about the pool's leaky finances before council pulled the plug on the local water hole.
But it's just like he decided, no, there's no way we can keep this pool, so let's just close it. Like, try something.
I really feel that the money that was spent for those ugly border markers should have been put towards that outdoor pool. Lloydminster people want an outdoor pool, and I think we should have it.
Alderman Herb Flieger says the city had always planned to shut down the outdoor pool as soon as the leisure center was completed. For that reason, Flieger says he voted to shut down the pool this year. But after the meeting, his opinion had changed.
They convinced me.
Flieger says his Parks and Recreation Committee will make a recommendation to Monday's council meeting concerning the pool. He won't say what that recommendation will be, but he does say the city will need some help from the public if the pool is reopened.
To keep the mill rate at the same level, we need some help. If people want the facilities, they have to be willing to help.
Mike Green managed to get 800 signatures on a petition calling for council to reopen the pool. He says he hopes the city will find the funds to open the facility for the remainder of the summer. That way, he and other volunteers could have a year to hold fundraisers and raise the money to open and maintain the facility next June.
I think if we open it this summer and we have people made aware on a daily basis that this pool will be closed if this and that isn't done, I think that'll really bring focus to the situation.
And country music fans of all ages in 1998 enjoyed a night of tunes at the Border Country Jamboree.
I'm having a lot of fun at the Border Country Jamboree.
Everybody's having a great time. She's close quarters, and it's wonderful. It's fun. People, lots of smiles on their faces, and that's what it's all about.
He's going for a poster already. It would take more than a little rain to damper the spirits of these country music fans. People were shaking it all night long at the Border Country Jamboree.
It's one heck of a rock and rollin' party.
in the white tent outside, and once again I'd like to...
I even managed to catch up with the MCs of the big show for a little insight.
Alrighty, we're here with Bryce Tarswell and Damian Lee.
I'm Damien.
That's Bryce. That's Damian.
Actually, neither of us were sure what was going on, but as for the fans, they knew exactly who they wanted to see.
How come? Is she a good singer though too? Yeah, she's good looking too though. Yeah, that's the best part.
Who's your favorite singer?
Which one's yours? How come?
Because she has a son that's on my baseball team.
Trisha Conroy? How about Charlie Major?
Yeah. Both of them. Patricia Conroy.
Oh, hey, as you know, listening to Country 108, we play lots of Charlie Major and Patricia Conroy, and they're going to be hitting the stage here.
My favorite is Patricia Conroy.
And why is that?
Well, she's a hunk of burning love as far as I'm concerned.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sunset recording artist, the lovely, the talented Patricia Conroy!
People who have seen our show before know that it's a very high energy show. Basically, you know, we've been playing these songs a lot, so the crowd is what really brings it to life. I've got enough energy for as many people out there as want to have a good time, so I'm ready for it.
But hold on, there's another major piece of business we have to deal with.
Will you please help me in welcoming BMG music recording artist, the man, Charlie Major!
Generally try and, entertain people. I mean, that's what we come for, and, rock them out a bit and, do the best that we can. Every night we give 150%. Hope the people walk away feeling they got their money's worth. That's what is real important to us.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. And in 1998, a Wainwright woman voices her concerns regarding a dog bylaw. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. With the Lloyd X Fair taking place this week, we turn back the clocks to see the fair's economic impact on the local economy in 1994.
Money changing hands and more money changing hands. Upwards of 35,000 people are expected to invade Lloydminster for the 90th edition of Colonial Days, a tremendous economic boost on the local economy.
Anytime that we can have a major event, a major tourism event like Colonial Days in the community, it's a substantial economic impact for the businesses and community.
Local businesses such as hotels and cafeterias reap the benefits of events such as Colonial Days. One local businessman is already seeing the effects of the influx of people in the border city and is expecting even more business in the next couple of days, which he welcomes.
But, I can see my late night and stuff like that being pretty good. So I think, with more people in town and more people hitting the nightclubs at night, I might do a little better then. So I think I will do a little better with more people in town.
While some businesses boom during the four-day event, for others, the economic implications the fair brings to the city doesn't affect them.
So it's not the economic one would think, right, first hand?
No, that's right. It's pretty much business as usual.
Right now, it's not business as usual at the Lloydminster Exhibition Grounds as people with pockets full of money continue to spend it and help parts of the local economy.
If you take the multiplier that's quite often used, I believe, which is around $63 per person for a day visit, and multiply that by 35,000 people, that can generate quite a bit of economic impact for a community.
And in 1998, a Wainwright woman voices her concerns regarding a dog bylaw.
I mean, this is just not fair.
Betty Primer just moved to the Wainwright area. She is upset with a bylaw that requires a muzzle be placed on her dog.
Our concerns with our dog is the fact that we have to walk her with a muzzle. She's considered a dangerous animal, a vicious animal, and she's only 4 months old. How could she possibly be vicious? She hasn't done anything.
Hey, you're going, yeah.
Meet the pooch behind the controversy. Mandy is a 4-month-old Rottweiler, and she is treated like one of the family.
Yo, I love her. She sleeps, me too.
Such dogs have a reputation of being a threat. However, Betty feels the bylaw is too severe.
Yes, their bite is a mean bite. But how many times has it happened here? Not once. Not once has it happened here.
The town of Wainwright sees things differently. Their town council took a proactive measure with the bylaw back in '96 in order to protect the general public. Wes Croning, development officer for the town, says the bylaw was necessary in order to prevent possible attacks before they happen. But Betty thinks the muzzles have the opposite effect.
With a muzzle, I would instantly think this dog is dangerous if I seen someone else with a dog with a muzzle on it.
It's like people, everybody has their own temperament. Historically, the breed was bred to be aggressive. However, with proper puppy techniques, raising, socialization skills, they can become a very kind dog also.
Oh, we love her right to pieces. She is our pet. We love her.
Betty has started up a petition in hopes of changing parts of the bylaw. She plans on taking it to council in 2 weeks' time.
We think a lot of people would like them if they just had the opportunity to get to meet one, personally meet one.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. Here's the story of two Loon Lake twins from 1998. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. We start this week's edition of Retrospect in 1994 with concerns over safety on a section of the Yellowhead.
The Yellowhead Highway between Maidstone and North Battleford is getting the reputation of being a dangerous stretch of road. A few weeks ago, 2 cyclists lost their lives when they were hit by vehicles along the roadway. Last summer, 5 people were killed in 4 separate automobile accidents.
That's crazy. You know, that's all there is to it. It's too much for, the traffic in the summer. You lose 5 people in a summer. And this short stretch of highway, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Last night, members of communities who live along the Yellowhead asked the provincial transportation minister to make their highway safe. The Friends of the Yellowhead group wants Andy Renault and the Romano government to twin the highway from Maidstone to North Battleford. But the minister says there is no money available.
We have $62 million this year to spend on reconstruction of roads. The project between here and the Alberta border would cost probably in the neighborhood of $40 to $45 million, and of course that would take most of our budget.
Renault says Saskatchewan officials are hoping a meeting with the federal government this fall will bring in money through a national highways program. But Lashburn Mayor Bill Kulik says he thinks the government is just dodging the responsibility. Although many people have already died on the highway, he thinks the only way the government is going to take any action is if one of its own becomes a statistic.
Believe it or not, I think it might take a politician. That's if they ever use our highway here. Then there might be a change of attitude down south.
It would be years before work to twin the highway began. And now moving from one type of twin to another, here's the story of 2 Loon Lake twins from 1998.
It's nothing new to have a live colt on the ground. What is surprising is to have 2. Ruby, a thoroughbred cross mare, recently gave birth to twins. The owners, Stanley and Marilyn Morton of Loon Lake, weren't too sure what to expect when a little colt came, and then a filly. Like any twins, they have a special bond.
It's actually I was just thinking the other day, I'll probably have more trouble weaning them from each other than their mother, because they seem to be more concerned about where they are the other one is rather than what she is. So we'll see how that goes.
It's extremely rare for twin foals to be born. If they are, usually one or both doesn't live. But what makes it so special is that they're both up and running around.
Probably about 1% of pregnancies will end up with twins that actually are born alive. And about 10% of all pregnancies will start out as twins, but only 1% would actually turn out like that.
Now 6 weeks old, Rocket and Star have their whole lives ahead of them. And just looking at these two little guys, you know they'll milk the attention for all it's worth. The Mortons are just happy to have them around.
They've been a lot of fun. I tell people they're not the best looking foals I've ever raised, but they are the most popular. So most of the time people walk by the good ones and come and see these. But we're enjoying them anyway. So.
In fact, even though the colt is bigger, Marilyn says, the filly is learning to be headstrong and bossy, adding with a smile, just like all the females on her farm.
And in 1998, area residents start raising large birds.
When you think of birds, you may not think of them being this big. It takes a lot to even raise these ostriches to this size. Temperatures have to be just right, and a lot of TLC is involved.
They're really hard to raise, actually, and a lot of people have had trouble with them, and sometimes they have a total wipeout. But we've been fortunate so far. We've got 13 hatched and 13 alive, and we'll see what happens.
Even though ostriches originate from Africa, they don't seem to need the excessive heat that goes along with it. As long as temperatures are comfortable, Canada's climate suits them just fine.
I have seen ostrich adults living in a farm where they just had a fence and a building with not even a door on it, where they could get a little bit of shelter, and they survived winter down by Calgary. Now, we didn't feel like we wanted to take that chance, so we've got sheds that have doors, and we actually lock them in at night if it's really cold. A good part of the winter they're closed at night and open in the day, and then we have a little bit of heat. We put a furnace in, and just a very minimal amount of heat to make it, just take the edge off the heat.
Ostriches are an industry that was huge, then let off a little, and now a surge upwards could be in the future.
The prices were around $50,000 a pair a few years back, and they've dropped drastically, and I haven't bought any lately, so I'm thinking around $10,000 or $15,000.
And this has been our week in Retrospect.